Okay, children, very good evening to you. So we'll start after 3 minutes. Okay, so then the class will be started at 3:03. Okay, right. So we'll wait about few minutes until our other friends log. Okay, children, once again, good evening to all of you, right? So, today we are going to continue our lesson from where that we have stopped, right? So, children, we have discussed up to the parts of flower, but we didn't discuss about what are the main parts, right? According to the male part and female part and these things, children. Okay, right. So, children, we are going to finish this lesson today, right? So, then we can start our next lesson next week, right? Okay. So, children, we'll start our discussion, right? I think we had better to start our lesson from parts of flower, right? So first of all, I'll recall your memory related to parts of a flower, right? So thereafter, children, I just discuss it, right? Because we have discussed and we observed a kind of an activity that we've done to identify part of a flower. Okay. So then children, today we are going to discuss about male part of the flower, female part of the flower, and then what are the functions of flower and different types of seed, what is called as seed dispersion, right? And then seed dispersal, right? So children, next we are going to discuss about two activities and then we can finish our lesson. Okay, right. So then children, I hope that you are ready. Okay, so turn to the page number 40. Turn to the page number 40. Okay, so let's go. Okay. So children, can you remember we discussed about parts of a flower? Parts of a flower previous week, right? So here, first of I'll I'll recall, right, what we discussed, right? Here I told you that this is pedicel, right? So previous week we discussed, right? But I am just actually I am just recalling, right? Here stalk or pedicel, and then this is sepal, right? Thereafter these are petals, and these are stamens, right? And then we discuss this as stigma, right? And then we observe cross section, paraskada, cross section of parts of a flower, and then we choose shoe flower to identify these parts. Actually, I told you what is the reason for that, right? Because all the parts available in this shoe flower, okay? Both male and female parts also available in this. So then for our easiness to study, and I told you we choose this shoe flower, okay? And once again, this is pedicel. These are ovules. I told you what are called as ovules, right? In the future, in the plants or the flowers which convert flower into a fruit, in the future these ovules inside the ovary converts into seeds, okay? And thereafter, children, this structure is called as ovary. This structure, wait, right? So yeah, I'll use a kind of a pen, right? So here this is ovary, right? Ovule, small ovules you can see, and these are sepals, green colored sepals you can see. Here also I showed you what are sepals, right? And then these are petals, right? Colorful in nature. And this is style. I told you style is a tubular structure, okay? And these are stamens once again. And I told you what are stamens. That is the androsium of the flower. Androsium means male part. Okay. And then we discussed about stigma. Okay. Right. Now we are going to carefully get the idea about what are the parts of the androsium, androsium, gynoecium, and what are the functions of these things also. Okay, children, I hope that you are ready with that. Okay, right. Now let's thoroughly discuss about these things. Right, children. Okay, so it's now we started our today session. Okay, right. ඔන්න අපි දැන් තමයි හරියටම කතා කරන දේවල් ගැන point එකට ආවේ. Right? Okay. Children, we are going to discuss about androsium. What is androsium? Androsium means the male part of the flower. Male part of the flower, right? In other words, it's called as stamens, right? It is called as stamens. Okay, children? Okay. So, children, if you can remember, in our previous diagram, I showed you these as stamens. Stamens. Stamens means male part of the flower. Okay, right. So children, this is male part. It consists with male two parts, right? Male පිරිමි කොටස මලේ, right? It consists with two parts. එක කොටස් දෙකක් තියෙනවා. Okay, right. Okay, children, now discuss androsium, right? Okay, so in Sinhala, right? සුද්ධ සිංහලෙන් කිව්වොත් මේකට කියන්නේ පූමාංගය, right? පූමාංගය. Androsium, male part. Okay, right. So children, this is the male reproductive part of the flower. Okay. Now, children, this androsium consists with two parts. Two parts. What is that? Anther and filament. Anther and filament. Children, if you carefully observe this diagram, right? I told you, I showed you kind of a video that I'm cutting a flower, shoe flower. Then can you remember I showed you yellow colored structure, right? Yellow colored structure here in this flower. Can you remember? Right here, yellow colored one. Right, this is called as anther. These small part is called as filament. These small parts are called as filament. So if I show you very clear, full manner, right? Here, right? These white colored heads are called as anther, right? This fibrous structure is filament, right? So if we go into the enlarged diagram, right? This is anther, right? This is filament, right? So anther means Paragadaniya, right? In Sinhala, Paragadaniya. So here filament means Sutrika, right? But that much not needed, okay? You can keep that in your mind in English, okay? Anther and filament. Male part is called as androsium. Androsium consists with two parts, anther and filament. Anther and filament. Okay, children. So, children, here, children, before I that, okay, I have given, right? There are three typical parts in the flower, right? In the tube, I hope that you have the printed tube, right? And it has mentioned under the parts of flower, under the diagram, right? There are three typical parts in flower, right? Three typical parts means, children, what are these three typical parts, right? Sepals. Sepals means here three typical parts, sepals, petals, and then here all together gynoecium, sorry, gynaecium, gynaecium, sorry, gynaecium, sorry, C should come, gynaecium and androsium, okay, androsium. Okay, children? Here, children, I have mentioned or I have given three spaces. There are three typical parts of a flower. First one is sepals. Second one is petals. Third one is androsium or gynosium. Right? So, children, not all flowers bear androsium and gynosium both. Sometimes some flowers having only one type. Okay. Okay. So children, only bisexual flowers. Bisexual means, bi means two. Only bisexual flowers, children, they have both parts. Right? Dvilingica malvala. Right? They have both sexes. Right?
Yes.
In bisexual flowers, they have two parts. Okay. But monosexual, they have only one part. Monosexual flowers, they have either androsium or gynoecium. Okay, children? Right. Okay, so I think Sasen is calling.
Miss, which page we should write that?
Here in the page number 14, right, I have given 3 points. There are 3 typical parts in flower under the diagram. Can you see
Yes,
that?
miss. Yes, miss.
Yes. Okay, so here you can write down first one as sepals, because here in my demonstration, I have not given that space, right? So then children, you can write down what are these 3 main typical parts, okay? First one you can write down sepals, sepals. sepals. Manipatra. Second one, petals. Petals. The colorful ones. Dalapatra. Petals. Right? Petals. Not petals. Petals. Okay. Petals. Sepals. Right? Third one, androecium. Androecium. O gynaecium. Right? Only in shoe flower having both sexes, no? Right? So some flowers are there. They have only one type of sexes. Okay. So children, I'm writing androecium or gynoecium. Likewise, you can write androecium or gynaecium. Okay. So children, this gynaecium, there's another word for that, which is called as pistil. 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 Another word for gynaecium is pistil. Sometimes some school papers also, I have seen, they are mentioning, name the parts of pistil. Androecium means pumangaya, right? That is male part. Pirimi kotasa කියන එක. Gynaecium means jayangaya, kotasa, female part. Okay? All right. So if it is difficult for you to keep it in your mind, you can keep G for girls, right? G, gynaecium, right? Here androecium for males. Okay, likewise. I hope that now it's clear. Right. So did you write down?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, right. So then we'll move with the next. Right. Okay. Right. So children, under the androecium, I have given spaces. Okay. So here, children, I hope that yeah. So children, androecium, right? You can write down androecium and write the parts of that androecium. First part is anther, right? Anther. And other part is filament. I have put the numbers. First part is anther. Second part is filament. Second part is filament. Children, name this here all together. Here in my diagram also I have given anther and filament all together. You can mention it as stamen, 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 right? All together mention it. Since children, you have enough space under that, you can write down, put a star and write function is production of pollen. Production of pollen. Pollen means parag. Pollen. Production of pollen. Okay, children. Done?
Yes.
All of you?
Yes, miss.
Okay, right. All right. So then we'll move. Right. Next one. Right? Next one. Gynecium. Gynecium. Gynecium means children. Jayangaya. Gehanucotus. Female part of the flower is called as gynecium. Right? Gynecium. So children, that is the female reproductive part of the flower. Okay? Right. So children, uh, I discussed what are these parts previous week also. Okay? Right. So children, this gynecium, right, having basic three parts, right? So stigma, right? The top is called as stigma, right? And thereafter, children, this tubular structure is called as style, right? Stigma, kalankaya, right? Stigma, style, the tubular style, right? Keelaya, right? So thereafter, this part is called as ovary, right? Children, you are eating fruits, right? When you are eating fruits, right? Imagine that you are eating mango. Then what you are eating? You are eating ovary of the flower, previous flower, right? So until the fruit develop, right? You know, previously it was a flower, right? But with the development after the pollination, what will happen? It converts into a fruit. So we are eating tastiest part of the fruit. Okay, right. So then children, stigma, style, and this is ovary, right? Inside this ovary in Sinhala we call it as Dimbakoshan, right? Inside this ovary, there are ovules, right? These ovules future converts or developed into seeds. Okay, right, all right. So children, that is what it happens. Okay, right. So children, now you can write down here parts of this gynecium, right? First one you can write down stigma, second one style, third one ovary, right? So here I have mentioned ovary contains ovules. Okay, right. So after writing that one, children, you can write down what are the functions of that. What are the functions of that, right? Okay, so here after writing that one, I'm writing the function, right? So first of all, I'm writing first one, production of seeds. Production of seeds. Bija nishpadane. Production of seeds. Seeds. Right? In the page number 15, I have given under the gynecium. Okay? Right. Right.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes.
Teacher, if the shoe flower is bisexual, why it
Yes.
is not bearing fruits?
Okay. So children, shoe flower, right? In the genes, shoe flower has not formed fruit. Okay. So children, each and every plant you know, these are not forming flowers. These are not forming fruits, right? In their genes, there's no controlling formation of the fruits. හැම මලකින්ම ගෙඩියක් හැදෙන්නේ. ඒක ජාන වලින් තමයි එයාගේ එක control වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. Okay. So children, likewise. Okay. So fruit forming plants, we can see that fruit thereafter developed into, flower developed into fruit. Okay, only the fruit forming plants we can see flower converted into fruit after the pollination. Okay, so according to the genes, right, and according to their fertility also, right, then it depends whether they are developed into fruit or not. Okay, so flowering plants basically, you know, in our houses or home gardens, we are maintaining flowers or flowering plants, right? These have not developed to form fruits, right? According to their genes. Okay, ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ ජාන විද්‍යාවෙන් මේවා control වෙලා තියෙනවා. Okay, did you getting that? Okay,
Yes, teacher.
right. The second function we can write down, ovary become fruit. Ovary become fruit, right? Third one you can write down, ovules. Ovules become seeds. Under the gynoecium, you can write down these three parts and then their functions also. All right, children. Finish? Where are the?
Yes, miss. Done.
Okay, others? Finish?
Finish, teacher.
Okay, right. Thank you for your information. Okay, so children, we shall move with the next day. Okay, right. Okay, children, now we have come to the latter part of this flowers. Functions of flower. Okay, parts of the flower. Okay, functions of parts of the flower. Okay, children? Right. Children, we have discussed lot of things, right? So children, you know, right? We discussed sepals, petals, right? And then androecium and gynoecium. Okay, as main parts. Okay, children, I think you had better to know about these parts and their functions. Okay, මේ කොටස් කිහිපයක කාර්යයන් ටික දැනගත්තාම ඇති. Okay, children. Right. So children, you know, sepals we discussed. Sepals are doing photosynthesis, right? Sepals, can you know or can you remember? Right? Here sepals, right? Sepals, the green colored sepals you can see, right? It protects flower. It protects internal parts of the flower. Okay, children? And it protects flower bud, right? Before flower forms, you know, it just like a bud. Pohottuak ned. Right? To protect the bud, there's a sepals. Right? There is a sepal. Okay, to protect the bud. Okay, so it protect and it does do photosynthesis also because it is green in color. With the presence of chlorophyll, these flowers sepals can do photosynthesis also. Okay, right. And then children, what is petals? Why petals are there? Children, you know, beautiful petals having flowers available around us. Okay, petals. Petals also protect internal parts of the flower. Internal part. Male abhyantara kotas araksha karna. Okay. And children, what happened when the flower petals are very colorful? Then honeybees, butterflies, and these insects get attracted to the flower, right? So then what happened? By then the pollination process will be successful. Okay, right. පරාගණය කියන දේ හොඳින් කරගන්න පුළුවන්. ඇයි මේක ඇහැට හොඳට පේනවා. Right? Likewise. Okay. So children, other part is androsium. Androsium means male part. It produce pollen grains. It produce pollen grains. Okay. So then gynecium, right? Gynecium, what will happen? Gynecium ovary converts into fruit, ovules convert into seeds, and then it produces seeds. The function of ovules is production of seeds, children. Okay, right. Okay, so then children will quickly write down these functions also. Okay, right. එහෙනම් ඉක්මනට මේ functions ටික ලියා ගමු. All right. Here I am writing first one, sepals, 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 right? Here we can write down production of sorry, not production, protection. Sorry. Protection of flower bud. Protection of flower bud. Okay, right. The second one we can write down photosynthesis. 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 Right? Next one, petals. Petals. Right? So then, protection of internal parts. Protection of internal parts. Of the flower. Okay? Right? And then we can write down attraction of insects. Here I am writing that function in this. Okay? Attraction of insects. Insects. For pollination. Pollination. Right? Okay. So then next one, I'm writing using another color so then you can easily identify it. Androsium. Androsium. Production of Pollens. Production of pollen is not writing. Okay. So the next one. Gynecium. We can write down formation of fruit. Formation of fruits. Second one, production of seeds. Seeds. Okay, now you can write.
Done, Miss.
Okay, did you all done?
Yes, Miss.
Okay. So are there any still writing ones? Tamaliyanova mama. Likewise, no? Okay, right. I hope that you all done. Okay, yeah, thank you. Right. Right. Children. Now we are going to discuss about diversity of fruits and seeds, right? So we have come to actually the end of these lessons or the first unit, okay? Diversity of fruits and seeds. Okay, children, now you can see my diagram, right? Right, so it has mentioned fruits are formed in the flowers of flowering plants, right? Fruits are formed in the flowers of flowering plants, children. Okay. So then it is mentioned seeds found inside, right? Okay. Fruit forming
Miss.
plants. Okay. Fruit forming plants we can see seeds inside this fruit. Okay. And the children by seeds, it just produces a new plant, right? So this process is called as sexual reproduction of plants. Children, can you remember we discussed about using roots, using stems, using uh, leaves also. We can get new in that kind of situation. There were no any seeds, only part of the plant that we used, and then we got flower. So, and we got plant, not flower. Okay, sorry, mistake. Right? So, children using stems, roots, leaves, just like akkapana, using it, we got a new plant. That is asexual reproduction. Alinprekanane. Right? No seed formation. Okay, only part of the to that. But children, in seed, right? Yes.
Teacher, not clear.
Is it not clear?
Not clear.
All of you, is it not clear?
Yes. Yes, teacher.
It means sound?
Yes, miss. Yes,
Oh,
teacher. Yes, teacher.
wait. We'll just check. Okay, now children, you all can hear me?
Yes, miss. Yes,
Okay, right. Okay,
yes,
thank you.
teacher.
Okay, so children, I was explaining you using stems, roots, leaves, we can get a new plant. No seed formation. Okay, so children, that is called as asexual reproduction of the plants. Alingika pracharane, alingika prajanane, shakavati, right? No need to form any seed, right? But children, some of the plants, they can give a new plant through seeds, right? So that is called as sexual reproduction. Male part and female part, and then androsium and genosium should work accordingly to form these seeds, children. So this is called as sexual reproduction of the plants. Okay, children, you observed that, right? Flower converts into a fruit, right? So part of the flower developed into part of the fruit. Okay, I hope that you observed or you get the idea. Okay, right. So children, according to the dispersion of the seeds, what is dispersion? Dispersion, seed dispersion. That means from one place to another place, seeds are taken, right? Seeds are taken from one place to another place, right? So children, that is called as seed dispersion. Bija vyaptiya, dispersion. Why children need seed dispersion? Why? What will happen if the seeds fallen down under the mother plant? What happened? Have you seen children under the jack trees? What has happened? The plant babies are there. Lots of plant babies are there under the mother plant. No, have you seen? Right? නේද ජැක් ප්ලාන්ට් එකයි යාළගේ බබාලා ටිකයි සේරම ගහ යට ඉන්නේ. දැකලා තියෙනවද? But these are not much good plant, right? So why? What is the reason for that? They have competition. They have competition to share nutrients, water, right? And these things. Resources are limited. Although it has lot of babies, right? Right? It has lot of small plants. There's no enough resources. So then children, growth and development may be unsuccessful when fallen down under the mother plant. මෞෂාකය යටම පතිත වෙච්ච බීජ පැලවෙන එක හරිම competitive. What is the reason? Because others also compete for the nutrients, water and these things, right? So children, that's why seed dispersion should happen, right? So then it is good, right? From one place to another place, seeds can be taken. Then that seeds disperse and then that plant can spread it throughout the geographical location. Okay, likewise children. So children, when it comes to the seed dispersion, there are 4 methods of seed dispersion, right? Okay, so what are these 4 methods, right? So the first one is by wind, right? First one is by wind. Seed dispersion can be occurred by wind, okay? By wind. What is the second one? What is the second way? By
Sir.
water. Good. Another thing is that by
Animal.
animals. Yes, by animals. Right? So other one is by explosive mechanisms. By explosive mechanisms. Explosive mechanisms means in Sinhala we call it as spotaka yantranaya. Just once we press it, seeds dispersed. Seeds coming out at once. Balsam plants seeds have you seen? Once you touch it or once you press it, the pod open and spread seeds to outside, right? Okay, so castor seeds, rubber beetle, castor seeds also like that. It just, right? The pod open and remove out all the seeds, right? Likewise, children. So here by explosive mechanisms. Mechanisms. So explosive mechanisms are called as spotaka yantranaya in Sinhala. Okay. So children, uh, in your grade, it has not much mentioned about explosive mechanisms, right? So using another color pen, you can note down, right? So in the page number 16, right? Page number 16, right? Diversity of fruits and seeds. Under that, you can write down according to the dispersion of the seeds. According to the dispersion of the seeds, there are mentioned, there are seeds, right? Seeds dispersed. There are seeds dispersed by wind, by water, by animals, right? And then by explosive mechanisms, right? Write down using another color pen, right? So children, according to the dispersion of seeds, there are seeds, mention it as, okay? May there are කියන තැනට ලියන්න. There are seeds, right? Here, there are seeds dispersed කියලාත් එතන ලියාගන්න. Seeds dispersed, right? So, to this sentence, right? You can see to this sentence, right? You can write down seeds dispersed and then put a comma and write down these 3 points. And here this one write using another color because what is the reason? ඇයි එහෙම කියන්නේ? ඒක ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ grade එකේ නැත්නම් ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ grade එකට study කරන්න දීලා නැහැ. Okay? Right. So then for this sentence, please attach seeds dispersed and thereafter put one by wind, by water, third one by animals, and then put a star and write down by explosive mechanisms also. Okay.
Done.
Okay. හරිද? වෙලාව ඇතිද?
Yes, miss. Done.
Okay. Okay, all right. So then you all done. Right. Children, now we are going to discuss about seed dispersed by wind. සුළඟ මගින් ප්‍රචාරණය වන බීජ ප්‍රචාරණය ව්‍යාප්ත, right? Likewise, seeds dispersed by wind. Okay.
Disperse means?
Disperse means children, that means it can be taken from one place to another place, right? Okay. It can be taken from one place to another place, right? Can travel from one place to another place. Did you get that? Okay, right. So children, these seeds dispersed by wind having different characteristics, right? Most of the seeds are very small children, very small, light weighted, right? Very small, light weighted, right? So children, other thing is that, so have you seen vara? Have you seen vara here? Right? Yes. Have you seen that a brown colored seed like structure is there and there are hairs white color?
Yes, miss.
Sometimes these are coming to your doorstep, into
Yes,
your
teacher.
room likewise. Neither. Okay. So children, this is having hairs. Okay. Hairs. Small seeds, light weighted and presence of hair also we can see. And children, some seeds have propellers-like structures. Propellers, right? That means just like wings-like structures are there, right? For their easiness to travel from one place to another place, right? නිකන් තියෙනම නිකන් අපිට තියෙනවා නිකන් අත්තටු දෙකක් වගේ, right? Dipterocarpus, right? Dipterocarpus means horror. Dipterocarpus, okay? So children, you can see wing having or wing jaw, the propelling or the propellers are there, right? For their easiness to travel from one place to another place, right? And yeah, so children, I told you small seeds, light weighted, and then having hairs or presence of hairs, and with the presence of wings of the seeds, right? We can get the adaptation of the seeds which dispersed by wind. Adaptation. Adaptations means අනුවර්තන. සුළංගින් ප්‍රචාරණය වන ව්‍යාප්ත වන බීජවල අනුවර්තන නැත්නම් හැඩගැසීම්. Right? Okay. So children, we discussed about these features also. Okay? Right. Okay. So here children, you can write down here. Seed dispersed by wind, I have given, right? You can write down examples, right? So in front of these examples, I'll write down what are the adaptation of these seeds. Okay, right. Let's write these things. Okay, right. We can write down examples, cotton, right? We can write down light weighted. Write down it as cotton. Light weighted seeds. Seeds. Here, light weighted seed is enough, right? Light weighted කියන එක ලියන්න. Cotton කියලා ලියලා ඉරක් ගහලා, right? Write it as cotton and in front of that, write down what is the feature. Okay? Light weighted. And here, under this vara, you can write down presence of hairs. Presence of hairs. Presence of hairs. Hairs. Right? Presence of hairs, and you can write down small size. Okay? Small size. And then children, you can write down horror or dipterocarpus, that is the scientific name. Okay, no need that much. Right? You can write down presence of wings, wings, or propellers, propellers. Okay, children. Class most probably finish around 4:40, just like that. Children, in my youth, I have mentioned gammalu, right? Here, gammalu. You can see. Okay. So, children, in this seed, right? This is light-weighted membrane structure, right? This area is the seed, right? And this is membranal structure, membrane structure. This is very light-weighted one, right? So, because of this lightweight, it can travel very easily from one place to another place.
Done, miss.
Okay, children, I hope that you have done, right? So,
Yes.
then we'll move with the next. Okay. Right. So, children, seed dispersed by water. Seed dispersed by water. Children, when it comes to the seeds dispersed by water, children, right? You know, it should be actually it should be floating on water, neither, right? It should be floating on the water. Okay, right. So, children, what are the specific features of these seeds, children? So now, children, uh, when it comes to the seeds dispersed by water, right? It should have a kind of a light weight, right? Light weight should be there, right? Children would have a light weight. Light weight means, right, not much heavier, right? But children, have you seen coconut seed also float on water, no? Coconut seeds also float on water, right? So what is the reason to that? What is the reason to that? Children, when it comes to these plants, seeds, sorry, when it comes to these seeds, right, dispersed by water. Okay, children, these plant seeds having fibrous structure, right, around that seeds, right? You know coconut seeds, that is the one of the largest seed, coconut seed. When it comes to coconut seed, it has a fibrous seed cover. Seed coat is available. Fibrous seed coat. Here you can see fibrous seed coat around the seed, children. Okay. So what will happen with the presence of these fibrous seed coat? Then children, air will trap inside. Air will trap inside this fibrous seed coat. Okay, children. So then it gives, right? It gives actually chance, or it gives kind of chance to float on water. It gives chance to float on water. Okay, children. So then when the fibrous portion is available, there are air sacs inside this seed coat. Then what will happen? The seeds float on water very easily, right? Whatever the size, no problem. It just float. Okay, right. So children, what else? What are the features? So children, just like arecanut, right? Now I have arecanut, right? So when we remove out this seed coat, right? If I remove out this, right, you can see fibrous portion, no? Right? So with the presence of this fibrous portion, right, air can be trapped inside, right? Air can be trapped inside. Okay, so because of that, children, in the seed coat, we can see air pores, right? Air sacs. Air can be trapped inside. So then it gives extra chance to float on water. Okay, right. So children, what else? So yeah, basically air-filled seed covers are available, right? And then it has fibrous seed coat, right? Tantumaya Bijavarana, right? So children, these are the special features. So in the page number 17, you can write down the examples. Coconut, lotus, Kaduru, right? When you open up the seed of Kaduru, right? Then also you can see air filled structures. Okay, so children, these things we can see inside that. Okay, air filled seed covers we can see in Kaduru and lotus also, right? Very porous inside. Okay, Savivarai, porous. There are pores inside of this seed coats also, right? So then children, I am writing what are these examples, right? Here you can write down coconut, lotus, Kaduru, and you can write down arecanut also. Arecanut. Arecanut. So children, yeah, arecanut, one of the example. Arecanut. Okay. Right. So here children, in front of these examples, you can write down the adaptations of these seeds. Okay. Right. So here you can write down.
Done, miss.
Okay. Presence of in front of the example you can write. Okay, in front of the example means children, when you write down the example, you can okay, under that you can mention presence of fibrous seed coat. And then you can write down air-filled sacs. Okay. Under these examples, you can write down the adaptations, right? Okay. So here I am writing presence of fibrous seed coats, right? So other adaptation is presence of air-filled seed covers. Okay, right. So you can write down these adaptations also. Okay, children, done?
Done.
Done, enough? Right,
No,
enough the
teacher.
time? Okay, right. So then I'm moving, okay? Right. Seed dispersed by animals. Seed dispersed by animals, right? Okay, children. Many of the seeds dispersed by animals, right? Right? We can see children tastiest fleshy part around that. Tastiest, actually tastiest fleshy part available. Children, as an example, mango, let's get mango. We just eat and shed it. See, we are shedding, right? So children, then what will happen? New mango plant may be coming after few months, right? Okay, so children, because of these fleshy structures of the fruits, right? Animals attracting with this seeds, right? Okay, not seeds actually. For the fruit, they attract, but thereafter it can be traveled from one place to another place. So then it can be dispersed from one place to another place. Okay, children? Right. So then children, pepo, right? It is having fruity substances for them to consume. Okay. So, chilies. You can see this bird is eating pods of chilies, right? Okay. So, tomato, right? Okay. So, children, there are some other seeds, right? So, Nangadarana and love grass, right? What is love grass? Are these grass are living? No, right? What is love grass? Love grass means ආදරය කරන තනකොළ? නෑ. Right? That is tuttiri, right? Love grass, right? So children, there are clings. There are clings. Sorry, they have hooks and they are going to cling with the fur of the animals, right? Okay, so imagine that when you are going home, right? On the pathway that available, actually on the pathway, love grass available, right? Then what will happen? Your socks attached with that seeds of love grass. Okay? Tuttiri. Gedara enokota tuttiri alavila. Right? So children, what is the reason for that? These seeds bearing hooks-like structures. Hook-like structures. Okay? So if you see Nagadarana, right? The seed is just like that, okay, roughly, and there's a hook, right? So these hooks cling with animal body. Then what will happen? That seed get chance to disperse from one place to another place, children. Okay. Likewise. So then it is having fleshy part or tastier fleshy part. So then animals are eating. And then seeds can disperse from one place to another place. Other thing is that the presence of hook-like structures. Kokuage, hooks, like structures available, right? So then it attach with the fur of animals and then it disperse, right? What is the other thing is that? And children, sometimes have you seen Olinda mother tear-like seeds? Olinda mother tear-like seeds? Okay, so children, if you seen, right, Olinda is just like this, right? So if I draw, have you seen red and black colored oval shaped seed Olinda? So during your, okay, here this is Olinda. Have you seen this type of seeds, children? Right? This kind of seed. Okay, so children, because of these colors, children, some animals are thinking that, oh my God, this is ladybirds. I feel like eating, right? So children, these seeds mislead animals. Mislead, right? වරද්දනවා ඒගොල්ලන්ට. Mislead animals. Animals think that these are tiny creatures for them to eat. But children, these are seeds. So then what will happen? Animals catch these seeds and taken away. Right? Okay, likewise. And children, some plant leaves have claws-like structures. Okay, so then it also can hang on fur and taken away, right? Okay. So children, you can write down examples. Examples for the seeds dispersed by animals. Okay. Tomato, pepper, chilies, right? And in addition to that, we can write down here examples. I'm writing more examples here. Tomato, and you can write down these examples also. Nagadarana. 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 Okay. Next one you can write down live grass. Live grass. Tuttiri. Right? Live grass. So children, I'm writing down what are the adaptation of these seeds. Okay. Under these examples, right? You have enough space. Okay. So then you can write down, right? Here under this, there are adaptations. Okay. Here I'm writing these characteristics. Presence of or having fruit structures. Having fruit structures. Right? Next one. Presence of hooks and claws. Right? And next one. Presence of patterns patterns to mislead animals. Okay, so these are the adaptations, right? I hope that you have the space. Okay, children, done? You all okay?
Teacher,
Yes.
can you show the seed dispersed by water part?
Okay.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay. Okay, children. Hope that you all are finished with these adaptations also. And then, okay. So then I'll move with the next. Right, children. Okay, interesting. Children, now we are going to discuss about monocotyledonous plants and dicotyledonous plants. You may wonder that what is this? Just like Greek, no? Monocotyledonous, dicotyledonous, right? Mono means what? Mono means one. Di means two, right? Mono means one, di means two, right? Tri means three. Tri means three. Tetra means four. Penta means five, right? Hexa means six. Likewise, children, in science, there are scientific terms also. Okay, children. Monocotyledonous. What is that? There are, right? Actually, monocotyledonous and dicotyledonous. That means monocotyledonous means there is a one cotyledon, right? There's one cotyledon in the seed. Dicotyledonous means there are two cotyledons. What are these cotyledons? Seed lobes, children, right? Seed lobes. BJAPLE, right? Seed lobes. Cotyledon means seed lobes. Monocotyledonous. That means one cotyledon, one seed lobe available in seed. Dicotyledonous means two seed lobes available in one seed. Okay, so that means two cotyledonous or dicotyledonous plants, seed can be divided into two seed lobes, right? We can divide seed into two seed lobes. But monocotyledons, only one cotyledon is there. It can be divided in, it cannot be divided into two. Okay, likewise. Okay, children. So now you can write down here in flowering plants. You know, seed bearing plants means, some flowering plants can form seeds, right? Some flowering plants can form seeds, right? So children, these flowering plants can be divided into two. The first one, monocots or monocotyledonous plants. Second one, dicotyledonous plants, right? So here children, I have given spaces. Flowering plants can be divided as first one monocotyledon, right? Or then monocots. Second one you can write down dicots. Here first one, here second one. Quickly write.
Miss, should we write the examples?
Here children, no need to write, okay? Right. Okay. So children, single seed leaf or single seed lobe is available in monocots, right? Right, one seed lobe is there. Two cotyledons means two seed lobes. You can see two seed lobes, right? There are two, no? There are two. We can open it up. Gram, green gram, cowpea, mung bean, right? And most of the dicot, right? Most of these seed structures we can see, dicots, right? So we'll move it next. Monocotyledonous plants, children. So children, monocotyledonous plants, right? We can see examples. Before discuss examples, we'll define. Monocotyledonous plants means, right? Monocotyledonous plants means the plants which bearing seeds. Plants which bearing seeds having one cotyledon or one seed lobe. බීජයේ තියෙන එකක් දරන ශාක monocotyledons. ඒක බීජ පත්‍රී. එක බීජ පත්‍රයයි. Monocotyledon. One seed leaf. Right? One seed lobe available. Okay, right. Here you can write down the definition. Plants which bear seeds having or seeds have one cotyledon or seed lobe is called as monocots or monocotyledonous plant. Now you can write down that, and I'm writing the examples, children, right? Here, maize, badairingu maize, siamese maize, right? And coconut, here this is grass, and this is bamboo, 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 okay, right.
Done, Miss.
Okay, you are done? Finish?
Yeah, Miss.
Okay. Okay, children. So, have a look. Children, there are specialties of this monocots plants. Another characteristic features. Children, by right identifying these features, we can define, right, or we can identify whether these seeds having one seed lobe or two seed lobe, right? By the external features, how we can do that? Children, if plants having fibrous root system, we discussed it under the diversity of roots. If the plants having fibrous root system and the leaf bearing parallel leaf venation, the leaves bearing parallel leaf venation, right? So that is also one of the feature of monocot plant. Okay, and then children, there's a single seed leaf, right? Seed lobe, and these things for this monocotyledonous plants. And children, in this monocotyledonous plants or the monocots, we can see three petals of the flower. Three petals of the flower, three or multiple petals, right? Three or multiple petals available in the flower, right? Okay, so children, in addition to that, we can see the the stem has not branched. Stem is unbranched, right? අපිට ගහක් දැක්කට පස්සේ මේක මොනොකොට් එකක්ද ඩයිකොට් එකක්ද කියලා හඳුනා ගන්න පුළුවන් ක්‍රම තියෙනවා, right? කොහොමද? If monocot plant bearing fibrous root system and having three petals of the flower, three or multiple petals, right? And it is having fibrous root system, having unbranched stem. In the seed, it is having one seed leaf, seed lobe, or one cotyledon. Okay, right. Next one, here. The examples we wrote, right? One seed leaf, parallel leaf venation, and then fibrous root system. Previous week I told you, I showed you the specimens of parallel venation, and then we got the idea about this venation and the patterns also. Okay, right. Let's move with dicotyledonous plants. Dicotyledonous plants, right? So in this dicotyledonous plants, children, we can see two seed lobes, right? Two seed lobes. We can divide it seed into two seed lobes. Okay, children? Right. So then, how we can define, right? Here we can write down plants which bear seeds have two seed lobes. Two seed lobes or two cotyledons. Dons called as called as dicotyledonous plants. Okay, right. So here you can write down examples. There are examples, children, you know, they have reticulate leaf venation. Reticulate, I told you, net-like structure is there in the arrangement of veins, and it has taproot system. It has taproot system, right? And these petals of the flower have four or three petals in one flower. Three, four number of petals available in flower, right? And it has branch stem, mango, jack, right? Mango, jack, and banyan, right? These plants having this monocotyledonous seeds. Okay, so then these are considered as dicotyledonous plants. Sorry, yeah. So here taproot available, reticulate leaf venation is there. There are two seed lobes in one seed, right? Two halves. We can divide that seed into two equal halves, right? Okay. So then children will write down the examples for monocots. Sorry, dicots. Okay. Mango, jack. Okay. Right. And we can write down tamarind. Tamarind. Siambala. Tamarind. Okay. Yeah, we can write down guava. Okay, children.
Done, Miss.
Okay, right. So children, we'll write down the differences between monocots and dicots. Okay. Children, wait. Okay. So children, dicotyledonous plants, I told you what are the special features, right? And these plant seed having two cotyledons and reticulate leaf venation available, and it is bearing taproot system, right? And we can see 5 or 4 or multiple number of petals in flower. Petty, right? Okay, so then children, we can get these as the special features, okay, of these dicotyledonous plants, right? If you need to identify whether the seed is dicot or monocot, to identify what are the number of seed lobes available in one seed, we just look at the plant or a tree, and then by the external characteristics we can determine whether this plant seed having one cotyledon or two cotyledon for the seed. Okay, likewise. Children will write down or we'll compare what are the differences between monocots and dicots. Okay, children. Children, the special announcement is there. Okay. Then next week, right? Not next week, right? I hope that you are updated. There is a holiday on Thursday, right? Thursday, right? I think 14th of January you have kind of a holiday, right? Okay, sorry, 15th, right? Thursday you have a holiday. So then I hope to do 2-hour session, right? To finish this lesson, and as well as we are going to start the lesson called as static electricity, right? So then 2-hour session, okay, for the holidays. So then children, let us know about your availability, right? So whether you can
Any
join
time
or
period?
not, right? Okay. So children, hopefully we are going to have it morning time. Then you can leisurely do your any activity, right?
No,
So
Miss.
morning time we are going to do that, but with the availability of all of you, it may change. Okay. So then we can quickly start the static electricity and do it, and then we can continue our continue our lessons very quickly. Okay, right. So then for now, we'll write down what are the differences between monocots and dicots. Okay, all right. Here, monocots having fibrous root system. Fibrous root system. Dicots have taproot system. Taproot system. අපි හැමදාම නිවාඩු දවසට දාන්නේ නැහැ, right? අපිට චුට්ටක් ඉක්මන් කරගන්න වැඩි, right? පොඩ්ඩක් quick වෙන්න එක දවසක් තමයි මේ extra class එක දාන්නේ only for 15th of January. Okay, because you have 6 lessons to cover during this first term, right? Okay, so then that's why we thought to have that session. Okay, the second feature, unbranched stem. Unbranched stem. Unbranched stem. Here, second one, branched stem. Branched stem. Branched stem. right? Third one. Parallel venation of leaves. Right, third one, reticulate venation of leaves. Okay. One cotyledon in the seed. Here, two cotyledons. Two cotyledons in the seed. Okay. Fifth one, have three petals. Three petals. Uh, yeah. Three or multiple. Multiple petals in the flower. Right? So we can write down have four or five or multiple petals in the flower. Okay, right. And children, after writing this one, right, next date. So we are going to finish this lesson after discussion of experiment number 1 and experiment number 2. Okay, children, you can do this activity in your home also, right? Okay, and you can get 5 seeds, the mention in this tube, right? In the page number 21, and then soak it 24 hours to it, right? You can keep a day, right? You can keep this seed for a day, right? Soaked, okay? Thereafter, children, okay, so keep that and try to separate it into two equal halves, right? So I'll show you how we can do that in the classroom also, right? So then next one, experiment number 2, identification of the difference of monocots and dicots seeds, right? In the growing, what does it happen, right? In these two seeds. So children, those experiments we are doing, and then the next static electricity will be started on 15th. Okay, so actually I thought to have it to quickly finish our second lesson and step into third lesson, because third lesson is bit of lengthier. 4 or 5 is not a problem. Okay, because some of the international schools, they are going to have the examination second week of March. Government school students, no problem. They have they are tomorrow. They have vacations, right? Because of advanced level examination, and February once again they will give holidays for O levels, right? Okay. So then that's not problem with government schools, but semi-government and international schools, they have special concerns about this first term, right? So then children, we have to quickly finish these things. That's why I arranged one session for that day. Okay, children, uh, children keep static electricity tube with you right after doing the payment and send us the receipt also. And children, after this first term, we'll think that we'll check whether according to your right, according to your requirement, according to your preference, right? So we are going to send the relevant suits with printed covers, right? But according to your preference, you can define or you can think, okay, right? So you can decide it. මේ අපි සමහර ස්ටුඩන්ට්ස් ලා පොඩක් කැමති මේ කලර්ෆුල් ටියුට් එකක් යාලට හම්බ වෙනම නම් right, because of some problems we did that after the disaster and these things, right? Okay, so then we'll actually we are on that on the discussion about that. Okay, right. So children, I hope that you have already finished these things. I'm not talking much, right? Always talking, eh? Right, okay. So then children, it's enough for today. And then I'm going to wind up here for a while. Thank you for logging. Have a nice week. Stay safe. Goodbye to all of you. Good night once again.
Good night, teacher.
Goodbye.